Welcome to Academy Podcasts, where our listeners are our future leaders. We strive to do this through providing descriptive awareness of modern topics. Hello, my name is Nethan Kaluarachchi. Today we will be discussing Margaret Thatcher's childhood and political career in episode 1 of the podcast, Iron Lady. Whether you love her or hate her, Margaret Thatcher, a woman filled with unrelenting nationalistic pride, was merely a child. Like all of us, she grew up, had parents, had interests, and most surprisingly of all, had a life before Thatcherism. Today, we will be discussing Thatcher before Thatcherism, reviewing some key moments during her childhood and education that would inevitably have lasting impacts on her political career. Family opinions, local politics, friends, books, and professors would all have an effect on the lady that affected the lives of millions of British people. Margaret Hilda Roberts was born on the 13th of October 1925 in Grantham, Lincolnshire. Brought up in a middle-class family that was religious and conservative, Maggie, known affectionately by her family, was greatly affected by her father's strict Methodist values. He was a grocery store owner, an alderman, and briefly the local mayor. These occupations molded the way he would teach and raise his children. Margaret, in her own words, even said, "I just owe almost everything to my father, and it's passionately interesting for me that the things that I have learned in a small town in a very modest home are the things that I believe have won the election," plainly stating that the Iron Lady's earliest political hero was her father. As higher education was initiated, the young Margaret would encounter her first dash of political activity. Prior to this, though, the book The Road to Serfdom by Friedrich Hayek would cement Thatcher's conservative views. Simultaneously to the reading of this consequential book, welfare organizations such as the National Health Service were established, resulting in the large state interference in the economy. Naturally, Thatcher hated this. She believed in a deregulated economic state, which she would promote thoroughly during her time as the president of the Oxford University Conservative Association. Thatcher's life between the conclusion of her Oxford studies and the introduction of her prime ministry career was a micro-revolution within itself. Within this time, she'd met Dennis Thatcher, her husband, have two twins, Mark and Carol Thatcher, then become the first woman PM of Britain in Finchley, all within the span of 3 years. An increasingly outrageous figure in conservative British politics, Thatcher's nationalistic and religious values quickly swelled her through the ranks of the political party. From Finchley to Secretary for Military Pensions, to the member of the Conservative Shadow Cabinet, and finally to Secretary of Education. Regardless of her sex, having two small children, and being a mother of a family, which were things that typically kept women from engaging in the workforce, her political career was on an ascending pattern. Yet her last position before she was promoted to her prime ministry career was the leader of the descending Conservative Party. Under Ted Heath's leadership, morale and support had decreased due to oil embargoes and worker union strikes that would further hurt the mutilated British economy. Thatcher was not initially seen as the obvious replacement to Ted Heath, but she eventually became the main challenger, promising a fresh start. This win would put her as one of the front-running candidates for the 1979 prime ministry election. That's it for episode 1 of Iron Lady. Stay tuned for episode 2, where we will discuss Margaret Thatcher's prime ministry career. That's it from Nethan Kaluarachchi. Thank you.